I want to share something with you that most coaches would never expect someone to say that teaches client attraction, which is totally what I teach. Here it is. More clients can make your business actually worse. Like, what? What do you mean? Did she say that? Let me explain. What I mean is more clients amplify a business model that you already have. So when the business model that you have is built well, more clients creates more revenue, it creates more impact, it creates more opportunity. But when every new client that you bring in requires another hour of your time, another decision from you, another custom explanation from you, and another place where only you can show up, growth begins to consume you as the owner. I just got out of a coaching call where somebody asked, what happens? Like, okay, for example, I recommend that at the end of a discovery call that you enroll the client right there on the spot. Like you give them the opportunity to enroll with you. And she says, "Well, Coach Kelly, I can't do that because I create a custom package for every person. And so I won't know what the price is until I sit and price out." And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, 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 no. That is not scalable. Wow. So I want to encourage you to not do that. So in essence, her calendar may be full and her revenue may be coming in, but her actual capacity is not going to be able to sustain that. And this is why some coaches finally attract the clients that they've been asking for. And then they realize, oh my goodness, I can't keep doing my business like this. Business model is so important, you guys. So in this video, I'm going to give you the 3-part test for your coaching business. And by the end, you'll know exactly which part of your business model is creating the ceiling for you and what to fix first. So let's get into it. First, I want you to grab something to write with because this is one of those videos you're going to want to take screenshots of. So here is the principle. The capacity of your business is determined by the part of the client journey that still depends entirely on you. I learned this in my own business. I used to think having lots of coaching clients meant having lots of one-on-one coaching clients. That sounds successful until every single hour of growth has to be personally delivered by you. And I moved from relying so heavily on one-to-one delivery into a workshop to a bootcamp ecosystem, which is what I do and what I teach. I could serve more people without multiplying my working hours at the same exact rate. My coaching ability stayed constant, but the business model carrying the coaching is what expanded. That distinction matters because being excellent at coaching does not automatically make the coaching business scalable. And that's what I was explaining to the client earlier today. So let me show you what does. I call this the scale engine. A scalable coaching business needs 3 specific things. One, it needs a repeatable method. 2, it needs layered delivery. And 3, it needs continuous demand. And I'm using the multiplication signs on purpose. If one of these is sitting at 0, then the whole engine loses the power of it. You can have a brilliant method with no steady demand for it. You can have plenty of demand with a delivery model that maxes out your calendar. Then you don't really have a business. You just have clients. You can build courses, you can hire a team, you can buy all the software in the world. But if the model, the method is trapped in your head, everybody else is still waiting for you if you're the only one that can deliver it. So let's get into it. Score each part as we go. The first place you score 0 is probably where you need to make an adjustment. As soon as you recognize it, put one word in the comment. It's either going to be delivery, it's going to be method, or it's going to be demand. So name the ceiling while it's fresh and post it in the comments. So let's talk about them one at a time. First part of the scale engine is repeatable method. This is where many coaches accidentally build a job around their talent. Don't do that. Your clients may arrive with different personalities, different histories, different businesses, different life stories, different circumstances. Your expertise should still be able to recognize the common architecture underneath their problems and build a program that solves for that. That is what allows you to stop beginning from a blank page with every single client, like the lady I was talking about earlier. Many experts resist this because they believe that the structure will make their work feel less personal, and it isn't so. Premium work can be deeply personal while following a repeatable process. I do it every single day in my business, and I teach others to do it. Think about a great physician. The patient is an individual, but the physician is not inventing a concoction of medicine again during every appointment. There is a body of knowledge, there's a diagnostic process, and there's a set of decision rules for guiding each person's care. So coaching expertise essentially works the same way. Look at your last 10 clients. your last 10 client conversations, and I want you to ask yourself, what problem do I keep seeing over and over again? What do I tend to see before the client is fully aware of it? What stages do people move through on their way from not knowing the result to coming to work with me and getting the result? Where do they usually hesitate? This is going to tell you what the bottlenecks are. What question, what tool, what distinction or exercise consistently changes the bulk of the conversation? This is where your method is hiding inside of if you haven't developed a method already. Until the method is clear enough to explain and to transfer for someone else to teach it, it remains an expertise instead of becoming a business asset. That is huge. You can have an expertise of something, but as long as it's living in your head and you're not able or you haven't taught it to someone else, then you don't have a business model that is scalable. A cute acronym can come later. We can come up with all that and you can chat GPT it later. But right now, you need an observable, repeatable path. So here is the test for part one. Could another skilled coach look at a one pager that you create and understand how to facilitate that with your clients? If the answer is yes, I want you to give yourself a point for method. If the entire path lives in your head and changes completely every time you deliver it, I want you to give yourself a 0 for that. For now, no shame, because we're deciding, we're discovering where the bottlenecks are. Please don't hear repeatable method and decide you need to lock yourself in a room to record 57 videos and modules that nobody asked for. I'm not saying that. Extract the method from real work first and build only what the actual client journey proves that it needs. Now, the second part of the scale engine is layered in delivery. Determine whether the program can grow or whether your calendar has to grow with it. One-to-one coaching, it can be super powerful, but it's also the most capacity sensitive layer in your business. That's what it was for me. And I did not enter the multiple seven-figure coaching space until I figured out that how to eliminate the bottleneck of that one-on-one delivery. So here's the practical question. Which parts of the client experience truly require private access to you? Or is it a story that you're just telling yourself that, well, they need access to me? They really don't. They need access to your methodology and your blueprint, and your framework. Not saying they can't have access to you, but don't make yourself think that's a must. Take everything you currently deliver and put it into 4 buckets. Let's talk about it. Teach, practice, coach, support. What must be taught? What must be practiced? What requires coaching judgment? What requires ongoing support? Because those are all different buckets. Core teaching can often become a curriculum. Practice can happen in a clinic or a group setting where you're teaching it. Coaching judgment can happen in a group. It can be a hot seat or it can be a premium private layer depending on the issue. Ongoing support can come through community. It can come through in office hours. It can come through accountability systems that you set up, or it can come through trained team members of yours. Already know this if you've ever been to a role play clinic. We teach those inside of my coaching programs. One person practices, the other person receives feedback, and everyone in the room learns. The value can actually increase because the participants see several different examples in one evening instead of only looking and reflecting on themselves. Layered delivery allows your best thinking to reach more people while reserving your direct attention for moments where it changes the outcome. Keep the personalization in the application while the core path stays consistent. This is how you protect quality without making yourself responsible for every minute of their progress, because that is a true bottleneck. So here's the fastest audit that I know for this. Ask yourself these questions. What do you personally explain 3 or more times every single month? Whatever came to mind belongs in a shared delivery layer. Now score yourself. Can clients make meaningful progress through a combination of curriculum, group experiences, tools, communities that you set up, a team support without requiring private access to you at every step? If the answer is yes, give yourself a point for delivery. But if every result will depend on you personally teaching, answering, reminding, reviewing, responding all the way through, give yourself a 0 for now. And now the third part of the sales engine is continuous demand. This determines whether growth continues while your attention is on the people who have already paid you. This is where a lot of strong coaches get caught up. This was my bottleneck. This is where I got caught up. They attract a few clients, Then they get busy serving those clients. And so visibility on the front end slows down. And then eventually those engagements end and the pipeline is nil. And then that coach has to stop and find clients again because you're serving the clients, but there's not new clients coming in because you're not over there doing your videos and advertising and all those things because you're serving the clients. That cycle creates a bottleneck. A scalable business needs a pipeline. Don't skip this piece because you built a beautiful program. An empty program can be scalable on paper and still produce no business growth for you at all. Continuous demand can exist without posting all day. It can. A qualified person can discover you. They can understand the problem you solve. They can experience the way you think, and they can take a clear next step while you're serving clients you already have. The path might look something like this: authority content, lead them to a workshop, lead them to an enrollment into a program, enrollment conversation, and into a program. Authority content attracts attention and it builds recognition. A workshop creates a concentrated experience of your thinking and your perspective, your unique perspective. An enrollment process helps the right person make a decision, and your program delivers a transformation through the method and the delivery model you just designed. That is what I call a true business ecosystem. Each part of it prepares the person for the next part of it. So here's your test for demand. If you stopped personally chasing leads for the next 7 days, could a qualified person still know where to find you? Do they understand why your work matters and why you do what you do? Do they enter a clear path towards working with you? How do they do that? If the answer is yes, that would happen without you showing up for 7 days, give yourself 1 point for demand. Now, if your business goes super quiet whenever you stop posting, messaging, launching, and personally following up, give yourself a 0. For now, that said, there is also a behavioral pattern underneath this that most business advice misses, and I want to tell you about it. When your demand increases, many capable coaches slip into what I call over functioning reflex. It is actually pattern 22 in my behavioral intelligence library out of 100 behavioral patterns. Overfunctioning reflex is the pattern of doing more than is needed in order to be considered enough. Think about that. Doing more than is needed in order to be considered enough. In business, it can look like the responsible thing to do. You answer every question, you customize every next step, you personally attend every single call, you make yourself available everywhere at all the time for all the people. And it feels like you're giving the true value. But then that very thing that you're doing, that very behavior to help you earn trust becomes the limiting bottleneck for your company as you begin to scale. So reserve your genius for places where it changes the outcome instead of spending it on every little repeatable task in your business because it is not scalable. Now, that choice sits at the interaction of leadership and operations. All right, now score your scale engine. 1 point if your method is repeatable, and 1 point for layer delivery, and 1 point for continuous demand. If you scored 0, your business is still running primarily on personal exertion from you. And that's why I decided to make this video for you, just from the conversation that I had with a client earlier. If you scored 1, you have one strong component carrying more weight than it should, and that is not scalable. If you scored 2, you're close, and the missing component is probably the exact place where your bottleneck exists in your business. And if you scored 3, you have the architecture of a scalable coaching business. Now the work is strengthening and optimizing each part of that so that you can really grow and scale and build a legacy around it. Now, in the comments, write the one word that represents your next move. Is it method? Is it delivery? Or is it demand? Here is the order that I recommend. Clarify the method before buying more technology. Layer the delivery before hiring people into what's going to be confusing for them. That way you're not if you do that, you're not setting them up for success. You want to bring folks in to set them up for success. And then install a continuous demand path before adding more offers into your coaching business. Because a complicated business can still be a fragile business, but the goal is a clear method and a clear business model that can hold the level of impact that you say that you want. Now, if this audit showed you that your business has outgrown the way you currently building it, come to my live Impactful and Paid Coach workshop. There, I will show you how to strengthen the foundation of your business. There's 6 key areas to make sure you have a solid foundation. I'm going to show you my signature 5-step client enrollment system, and I'm going to show you the business ecosystem behind more consistent client attraction and smarter growth beyond one-on-one coaching, because that is not the way. That's the way you start, but that is not the way you should finish if you want to be a multiple seven-figure coach. The registration link is below this video. The workshop is live. There is no replay. Subscribe to my channel if you want more practical teaching on client attraction, behavioral patterns, enrollment, and building a coaching business that can carry your actual vision. Lastly, I want to encourage you to watch how to get coaching clients consistently. There are 5 gaps you need to fix, because a scalable delivery model still needs a dependable client acquisition engine, and that video will help you locate the exact break in yours. I'll see you there.